All right, welcome guys, welcome. We are back with Distant Worlds 2. It's been half a month, more than that actually. It's been about 3 weeks. I had a look at the last time I did a stream. It was last year. So we're back with 2026 with the best Space 4X strategy sort of simulator that's ever been made. This is Distant Worlds 2, of course. We're just going to go and continue where we are. Now, I've forgotten what we're up to, what we're doing. So we'll just sort of see where we are. Are we at war? I've got a funny feeling we may have just finished a war, I think. Hi Daedalus, how you going? He's back. Yes, I am indeed back with Distant Worlds 2. Now, I've just updated the game. We are indeed in a war, so I'm going to have to figure out what's going on. This is the filter, that's okay. I'll just, it's the message log. Why is that not showing? There we go, that's alright. Okay, so the game just keeps on improving and improving as well, by the way, which is good. Now, we've got 13 of our ships, and then there's a group of other enemy ships coming in as well. I'll figure out why I'm actually here. So what I tend to do is when I leave like when I save the game, I leave it where I need to be looking at what's going on. Now this is invading Israel. There's there's one of the enemy ships right there. Got basic fighters from the enemy ship coming back out and targeting our ship. So what's our fleet doing here? What fleet? It's the 6th fleet. And they're attacking the Crushing Scorpion, which is that one there, which has been disabled. So they're coming in to attack that particular ship. Now, I can't remember anything at all about what we're actually, why we're here at this system. We've got another fleet back over here as well. Oh, that's the enemy fleet. Now, they're on a... they're trying to invade Israel, but we're not actually at war with them. This is sort of like just something where they're just aggressively. Now these are reptilians, so they're going to be aggressively moving off to invade Israel, which is in here. So Israel is this moon way down over this other side. And we can see that there's some ships already coming in. Now that one's been disabled. We've already had our attack in through here then in that case. So we've disabled a ship there. This is a frigate. So we've already done the initial attack on this particular world. We have a lot of forces on this particular world as well. So we're actually doing fairly well. What do we have on the ground here? We've got an armor barracks, troop cloning, and a planetary administration center. This one's becoming more and more of a target. Let's go and have a look at the other world, our home world, which is back over in here as well. What have we got on the floor here? So we've got armor barracks again, troop cloning, planetary administration, plus an advanced shipyard, which is now constructed. This is actually a unique sort of galactic wonder that we actually have for ourselves, which sort of does help with the Empire bonuses of plus 5% ship maintenance savings. So we end up with some more maintenance savings back in through there. Okay, so Angry Apple Tree is saying, Dwarf Fortress Day when? Tomorrow! One more sleep, and then I'll be around about this time tomorrow, maybe a little bit later. This is a little bit early for me, but yeah, that should be tomorrow. So I'll be back playing in that same world, same map in Dwarf Fortress. I may trigger a siege. I'll see how I go. With that one. And Daedalus is saying, just a quick question: will you continue the Beta 3 Elemental Forge playthrough? Yes, I do. I will. Definitely. I'll be doing that possibly over the weekend. So I do plan on actually sort of smashing that one, and also I've got an Age of Wonders 4 playthrough that we're sort of halfway through as well, which I also want to continue. So there's a lot. I would have actually streamed another one later on today, but I've actually got to go in and do some work. So I've got to earn some money. it's just not next early next week. We're going to. It's a public holiday in Australia, which I will be able to stream on. But like I would normally be sort of working on that day, like in my day job. And but it's actually I'm a contractor, so I don't get paid for public holidays or anything. So I'm working today to make up for the public holiday, which is on my Monday, which is essentially Sunday for most of you guys, I think. So, okay, so Angry Apple Tree is saying, I've never seen this. Is it like Stellaris / Sins of a Solar Empire? No, it's space. It's a space 4X. It's about the only thing that's sort of similar with it to a large degree. This is so much more involved, like in terms of complexity, but not in terms of difficulty. It's one of these games where when players first look at it, it looks so overwhelming because it's a full-blown simulation. The other games are abstracted. So, for example, with both Stellaris and Sins of a Solar Empire, if you mine a resource, you get to use that resource globally through the whole, or galactically through your whole empire. So you don't need to try to have them at a specific location. And they've also got very, very streamlined actual resources. Like there's only a handful of resources that you actually need to build everything. Whereas in this game, everything sort of matters. So, for example, we're building a spaceport here, for example. This is a spaceport that is under construction. If I go and have a look at what this spaceport has been designed for and what it's made up of, it's made up of a whole lot of different components. And every single one of these components, when I hover over them, you'll sort of see there about halfway down that little pop-out that comes on the right-hand side there, 6 steel, 3 polymer, 3 silicon. Medical center requires 6 steel, polymer, and silicon there again as well. The reactors that we've actually got are Mebnar and carbonite. The actual weaponry, which is in the red, like Epsilon torpedoes, a Necros stone and Caprica. So these are all different construction resources that sort of end up sort of being needed. This is Mebnar, carbonite, and steel. And so you end up, if I scroll to the bottom of the list here, you'll see that there's actually resources required to build. You've actually got to have these at the location where you're building whatever it is you're going to be building. So if I don't actually have them at the planet, I can't build whatever it is I want to be building. So every ship requires this. The only things that don't really are troops. Troops just need to have essentially just pay gold for those. So, or money. Money is the one thing that is abstract. That is sort of an abstracted resource. Hi, Began. How are you going? So it's sort of, so in this sense, like if I go to Matrani, you can see there I've got 24 resource shortages, but if I go and click on that, I can then leave this one open, and the game automates everything. So even though it's managing all these different resources, you can see I've got fuel resources, Caslon. I've got like heaps and heaps of Caslon at this particular planet, so I've got more than enough. If this is sort of showing this sort of yellowy sort of color, it means that it's got more than it's got more on the at hand than what's actually required. And so in this case, all of these are fine, like all my construction resources, and these are all the different resources for construction. The ones that we're a bit low on are the luxury resources. So we've actually then got anything that's in red over through here is going to be sort of stuff that we're actually asking for. So the planet is actually asking for these, and we don't manage this. This just happens. And so there's a whole range of freighters and things going off, and there's mining operations. There's mining bases, like essentially mining bases in orbit around some of these other locations where they'll be mining certain things. And you can sort of see there that we actually control 2 of 14 that we know about. So we're actually mining 2 of these locations, but we're asking for 777. Now again, I'm not asking for that. The AI is controlling that. I can get in the middle of that and actually override what they want to have, but in this case, that's actually not a problem at all. And these resources then add with our colony development, the colony income, etc. So certain resources will actually, like this one here, is the Bifurian silk, is actually very, very important. It sort of gives a big boost to colony development, and also gives me a little bit of extra for colony income, which is sort of how we then get our money. Like our money, we've only got 8,000, which is very, very low. Our cash flow is very heavily into the negative. Part of that is because we're at war. So I won't try to explain too much. I will just show the automation. So the automation is done through your Empire screen. And the very, very last one is the policy, which is essentially automation. If I scroll down through here, you've got like typically four levels of automation, from fully automated, where the AI just does its own thing, through to suggest, but if you don't act on it, it will then just go ahead and do it, through to just suggest, but it won't do it unless you say, yes, go ahead, or just fully manual. So I tend to leave everything on default except for... so all of the colony tax rates, the stock levels, like this is these are stock levels we just saw. These are all automated. Funding levels, ship construction I have on manual. I start off with suggesting, but it then starts to get annoying, so I just flick that to manual. Bases, like the mining bases, etc., that's just now all on automatic. I don't want to know about it when they're wanting to build those things. Repair abandoned ships and bases is suggest, so if we do have repairs or we find sort of like abandoned ships, we can, at least it'll then ask me and it'll come up with a pop-up message and saying, hey, do you want to fix this up? Research is on auto, but I do get in the middle of the research to do it myself. Now we're trying at the moment to get efficient blasters, and we're getting that one fairly soon. These are very, very important, and it's the one after this that I think I really, really need to go and get. I'll have to wait until we actually get that particular bit of... So I'm actually managing this. I'm micromanaging the research, but I do actually have it on auto in case I forget to do something. Anyway, it just goes on and on and on. The one thing I do like to have manual, though, is all my fleet formation, attack postures, defense fleet postures, fleet management, and the fleet templates. These are things that I've got set to manual, just so I can actually manage the fleets. So that's sort of really where I am, sort of controlling things. But there's things, for example, like even with the auto base building, I can tweak what the AI will then go and do with that one. Where was base building? There. So base construction, automate construction of new bases in your empire, or control this area manually. So at that moment, I've now got this one on fully automated, but what I have done is I've gone down into the construction menu and I've told it what priority that I want to have. Like defensive bases, I've actually put them to low. And so I can actually go and tell them what I do and don't want around the place. Monitoring stations... I've got that on normal. I would normally put that on low as well. I might just go and do that. This is just telling the AI, if you're going to be automating it, don't give it a massive priority to do defensive bases or monitoring stations. So there is complexity with the game. It's more complex than any other Space 4X, but it's got you can play with full automation where you don't do anything at all. So you can it's fairly unique in that sort of sense. So that's the big, big difference between it and games like Stellaris. There's also, you don't actually have warp lanes. It looks like you do, but you don't. The game is monstrously large. You can sort of see through here. This is actually on a small to medium sort of sized galaxy, where our empire is here, this green empire through this other side. And we have sort of now extended further out to here, but these are big, big distances. So to get ahead of the enemy, we need to just keep on. You can see there's a whole lot of invasion fleets coming in, which we have to contend with. So these are all coming in, streaming in from the enemy that we're fighting. So we're fighting the famulous Polymathia, and so they're actually coming in. They're actually one of the they're a monstrously large empire through here. But they're sending wave upon wave of invasion fleets down towards our homeworlds. And what we have is and there's even more coming over here. So they've got heaps and heaps on the way, and so we need to be defending what we can in that particular region. I'm going to have to get my head around what we're actually doing and how things are then working. Well, these are all enemy fleets that we're aware of. We do actually have long-range scanners, so we can sort of see what's going on. So if I turn on the scanning range, we'll then sort of see that there's sort of like these whitish areas showing us what we can see with these are with long-range scanners. So we've got a lot of them around to be able to then sort of, so there shouldn't be too many surprises coming our way. We don't have anything in the middle of their empire, which is when we're not seeing any fleets out here. We're only seeing them when they actually hit the outer edge of the long-range scanners. So most of our long-range scanning is pretty much just only in our territory. We do have a few outside of our territory. We also have these areas in through here as well, which we need to protect. So anyway, that's sort of where we are. I'll just turn the long-range scanners off just so we've got a nice clean vision through this other side. Also, you'll see little circles everywhere. Circles mean that these are freighters. So that you can see there's like, this is the tired negotiator. This is I've never ever clicked on this one in the whole game. It's just automatically been built and managed. And so there's one like this one ship here, for example. If I go and click on it, we can then sort of see that it's actually it's transporting cargo from Xandu 2 mining station to Misum 1 spaceport. So it's actually already on its way from, well, it's going off to Xandu. So it's actually going off to a mining station that is at Xandu, and is then going to go to Misum 1. Misum 1 is, where's Misum 1? Oh, there. So it's traveling all the way back from one of its automatic automatic sort of freight missions to go and pick up a from Xandu 2. If I scroll in, and again, I'm not managing this. This is just what it's doing. So Xandu 2 is a marshy swamp planet, and it actually natively sort of mines carbonite and Oburian amber. I've got a mod that then colours the luxury resources, because these are ones that sort of aid the development of the of your planets. And so it's going to this particular mining station here, and you can see there's a heap of this stuff already on the actual planet itself. So it's going to come in, go to that mining station, and then it will then move across to one of our worlds. This is Misum 1, where we do actually have more attacks sort of going in. This is just happening all over the place. So there's an enemy fleet that's come back in through here, for example, that is attacking something. I don't know what, but they're going to be coming into Misum 1, which is this is one of a world that we have that's got full of humans. We're playing as what are they called again? Haarkonish, which are sort of like a amphibious faction. We're a mercantile guild. Which means that we have sort of other abilities with trade, etc. So our group is Haarkonish, back and through this other side. But we're very, very friendly with the humans in the game. All right, so that's where we are. So there's a wave upon wave coming into the home system. Let's just go through each of our fleets. I've sort of given them keyboard shortcuts. So fleet number 1 is here. It's moving off to attack Hona 2 mining station. And this is a very, very strong fleet. We've got a few ancient ships that we found and have repaired and sort of brought them in. So this is operating from, where's their home system? The Takamar 2 spaceport, which is Takamar 2, is in here. This is sort of in the middle of the front line, but we've got this one very, very well protected now. So this will be Takamar 2. So we don't actually have any ships here at this point in time, but Takamar 2 has got like a lot of troops, and we're building more troops on the ground here as well. We've got a high fighter base here as well, which is going to give us small ships to help defend that particular planet. So that particular fleet, the first fleet, is sort of straggling out, but is trying to destroy infrastructure. So it is been set to manual. So we are manually going off and doing it. Is that a mining? Is that the one there? We need to defend a mining station. We need to defend Takamar 2, and we also need to destroy. Yeah, that's it. So we've got a war mission. These are sort of semi-random, and so this one here will then give me a war score of plus 10k, and will increase the enemy war weariness by -0.1. We've got a war weariness of -2 at the moment, which once we get up to about -10, we have to then start really being quite concerned. That then impacts all of your ability to make money, etc., etc. So it sort of it starts to sort of grind your empire down a fair way. Anyway, they've just got wave upon wave of actually, I'll just turn on the nebulas just so we can sort of see. These are very hard to work through. That's why there's a gap through the nebulas there that they can get to. So anyway, that's our first fleet, which is a very, very powerful fleet. Second fleet is a not as powerful. That is operating from over in here. So this one is this one's got no mission. It's actually been set to raid, and its area of operation is probably just going to be the actual. It should only be the same area that it's got. If we go and actually have a look at the tactics, yeah, this will raid anything in the same system, and so there's ships coming in. Now, what's this one doing? This is not technically an enemy, but it sort of is, and so the second is no mission. So they're not seeing these as threats at this stage. Let me explain what's going on with the different, again, with the different groups that we sort of see around the place. This is quite complex, what's going on in this little region. These guys here are not. This is the third fleet of the Haarkonish. The Haarkonish are another faction. So the CO administrative clans is the CO system, and we control a portion of that system because we've been at war with them. Technically, we probably should end up being friends with them, but they had resources that we desperately wanted. So if I just quickly go across, there's the Nithos system is a planet that we had wanted from the very, very start of the game. Not because of its own abilities to actually have another planet, but because it controls a little system out through here called Draconia. Draconia has got like a world here, a volcanic planet, which actually I do need to... Profound Gamble is building a mining station here. This has been the source of war between us and the Haarkonish, this particular world, because it's got a resource here called Zentabia fluid, which, if you sort of have a look at that one through there, plus 24% colony development, plus 10% colony happiness, plus 50% troop recovery rate, and plus 3% plague curing. So having hold of this resource is vitally important to us. So we need to be in control of this particular one. So we're building a mining station here, what impacts their happiness. So yeah, you can see down through there, we're angry about the recent conquest of our colony. So they were taken over fairly recently. We've got a fairly big group of troops on the ground here, just to help protect this particular one. So we've just got Keterovs. If we hover over their number through there, we can see that there's 2 billion Keterovs and 1 billion Haarkonish that live there as well. And so we're just assimilating. We're in the process of slowly assimilating these. It's going to take a long, long time before they're fully assimilated. And this also then will possibly drain money from this particular planet. Will actually be a negative. You can see down through there. This is the money that we end up getting. It's cost me 26,000 just to keep this planet going the way it is. But once we get that other resource, it will ultimately be worth it. As soon as we can actually get everyone to be assimilated, and you can see the Haarkonish assimilate at a much, much faster rate than the Keterovs. The Keterovs are only 4% assimilated at this stage, but the Haarkonish population there is already at 11%. So they'll become quite compliant quite quickly. So every faction in the game also has all these unique little abilities with the way that they sort of then operate. Anyway, that's why we've got this system out through here. We've been at recent wars, and part of that war, part of the strategy for that war was for us to control the fuel resource of the Haarkonish, which is this planet here, largely. So they've actually got like a Caslon world, which we now control the mining station. So that's us. So that's an Haarkonish mining station that we took over. And so, and we've got a fleet just hovering around in here in case things get a little bit crazy. This is the second fleet is not all that strong in terms of strength, but it's more there just to control what the Haarkonish are going to then be doing. You can see that there's different Haarkonish invasion fleets and stuff. We're not at war with them, but they're sort of coming back through, to sort of pick up troops, etc., etc. So this is their home world, and we just have like we have a few different resources in here. So if things become aggressive, we will then go after them. Like this is also one of ours. So we've taken over a lot of their infrastructure, which means they have to buy the resources from us. So ultimately they will be paying through the nose for even though it's their own home system. So we're in the process of sort of just keeping them subjugated. But the big threat, as I said before, is this Famulus polymathia, which is back out through this other side. That's the second fleet. So the second fleet is controlling the CO homeworld. The third fleet, if I double click on it, is back over through here. This is operating from, and this has also been set to manual. This is in the MESM system. So any of the raiding ships that we sort of see coming back through, we're trying to destroy these as they sort of arrive and as they do different things. So this particular little fleet in through here is attacking our infrastructure, and we actually have another one that's now coming back in to attack some of their ships that are coming back at this other side as well. So the Famulus Polymathia ships are ship for ship very, very strong. Like they're incredibly strong. So we need to really be ahead of them all the time to be able to stop them. We do actually have one big ancient ship with the third, which is this one here, the Orangutan's Liby Heavy Carrier. And so it's sort of sitting back here at this point in time. Like at the moment, we've run out of, like all of the interceptors and bombers have been destroyed. We've got one interceptor left over. There's other ships. This is all debris from the actual fighting. So these guys they're trying to escape. So this one's trying to jump, for example, and we actually have our ships are now swarming that particular one. That's the third fleet. So the third fleet is protecting this region through here. The fourth fleet is my invasion fleet. And I've already got like 11 infantry, 5 armor on it, ready to go. Let's just go and click it again and just to see where that's operating from. So that is sitting out in Nithos, which is back here where we just took over that particular world that we had a look at there before with the so that's a fair way away from everything. Not that it matters that much. I don't really want to be taking over any more planets right now, so they're just sort of basically sitting there waiting for something to drop onto. I could bring them back to support, all these attacks that are going in. We could actually, I might do that actually. I might bring them back to the home worlds. So I'm just going to go back across into this moon, and we'll just go and get them to refuel from here. So just do a long right click, refuel, and so they'll now move off. Fifth fleet is here on its way down to MESM as well, and so they're going to be refueling at the MESM 1 spaceport. These have been set to automate, and their automation setting is to defend anything in that region of the blue area. So that's what they're automated for that one. The sixth we saw there before is attacking these ships that are coming back in at this point in time, and they are operating in the Delupi, which is actually where all of these ships are starting to stage. This one here I think is moving away now. This one's got only 1 infantry, 1 armor left over on board, so it's not that strong. This is the 22nd. It's trying to invade the sail, and it's staging at Delupi. So we actually have our 6th has gone off to attack the ships at Delupi, but I'm pretty better off as they get closer. And this one as well, if we go and have a look at this, the 35th invasion fleet, this one's only got 4 infantry, 1 armor, so it's not going to be enough for them. So invade his sail, stage at Delupi. So Delupi is this system here. So what they're doing is they're arriving at the Delupi system and then getting ready for the assault on the actual world itself. So there's wave upon wave of invasion fleets coming in. Now, once we deal with what's here with the 6th, I think I'll actually then send them back off. So they're attacking the Crushing Scorpion, and these are set to manual at this stage. Their home base is not set for them. Okay, that's interesting. I will just go back and make that the Assail home, like spaceport. So I'm just going to, with the 6th selected, I'm just going to do a long right click, and I'm just going to go set home base for the 6th fleet to be the Assail spaceport. So that then fills into there. That means when I give it an automation setting, it's then going to protect that particular setting. Let's just do that now, actually. I'll go and change their fleet role from manual down to defend. So we'll actually put them as a defensive fleet. And then if we scroll out, we should then see they're going to be defending anything in this region. I can change that I've got a 50m range in through there. If I go and click on that one, I can go to the same system, so it's only going to be protecting the system itself. And I'm happy enough with that. So I'm just going to make it, you can see there now the blue line is now much, much smaller. Now it's still going to attack, it's going to continue with its order, and then it will actually then go back to the Matrani system and actually defend any threat that comes into the Matrani system. It will do that automatically. 7th Fleet, we've only got a couple more fleets. This is a raiding fleet essentially, so it's been set to defend, and it is defending out here. Yep, so we're actually with the 4th. This is actually setting up at Nithos, so we've just got like a smallish group. These are also just defending that actual system itself. And then the 8th is, actually I don't have an 8th fleet. Okay, so they're the only fleets I've got. All right, let's let's just put it down to half speed. Now we had a few attacks going in. 2nd, I think, was, no, they weren't doing anything. The 3rd did actually have a bit of an attack going in, but the one that we were looking at initially was this Delupi, the 6th fleet. This is where we started the game, which means that this is what I was last looking at. So we'll just go and sort of scroll. So these are small craft coming back out. Now this is, I meant to sort of show what's happening through here. There's the Crushing Scorpion, which has been disabled, and our 6th fleet is now coming back in to attack that. But this ship here, which is actually a captured pirate ship, is part of the 9th invasion fleet of the Comanche's military junta. If we have a quick look and see from diplomacy who that actually is. So the Comanche's military junta is actually a group of these are Mortallon, which are reptilian, very aggressive, and that's why they're sort of attacking without declaring war. They're furious with us, so they absolutely hate us at negative 450. So if they've got the strength, they'll just attack at this point in time, pretty much. We've tried to become friendly with them, but we just can't. And so what they're doing is they are... so basically they're just attacking without declaring war. They're a military dictatorship. Their reputation is notorious, so they've got no real qualms about being doing the wrong thing. We also got a very, very poor reputation there because we invaded independent colonies because we wanted the resources. So we've also sort of got like a very, very poor reputation. When we have a look down and sort of see what they've got, we'll sort of see that they've actually got like a whole lot of different things happening in here with the Famulus Polymathia. And so they're a subjugated vassal. These guys were taken over by the Famulus Polymathia. So they are essentially, if we attack Famulus Polymathia, anything that's a subjugated vassal will automatically declare war. But these guys have sort of declared pseudo-war. The Famulus Polymathia declared war on us, and then these guys have just decided to invade and do different things that they can without declaring war. So they're actually attacking without a war treaty. And you can see there's no status there. The Famulus Polymathia, if we go and click on them, so they're nowhere near as negative as the Comanches. The Comanches negative 450. These guys are only negative 2.3. So they're displeased with us, but they're not diabolically. Their war readiness is only -1 as well. If we have a look at what they've got. So they've got the Comanches. They've got a different. They're essentially got. These are the ones that they've subjugated. They've just recently subjugated our ally, which is the humans. So they've now got a defense pact, military refueling. So these guys will now fight against us, where they were friendly before. And the Shiat Swarm is also something where they've actually also taken these. So these are all. There's actually now 4 together in like a confederation, just through being taken over. So we're sort of on our own at this point in time. Anyway, it makes life interesting, I guess. Now they're coming in. This is small craft, which is going to be attacking this ship. Now this ship is not attacking this one yet until they start. Now that we're getting. Now that they've seen that these little craft are a threat, they're going to now start to sort of fire upon them. So they're now firing on the small ships. So maybe targeting this one through here. Is that a bomber? Unknown ship. It's a bit too far away. Oh, that's the other thing in the game. Like everything in the game makes sense. Like it's a simulation at its core. This particular ship is like this is a frigate that we actually have. If we have a look inside it, it's got a starfield generator. So what this one does is it gives excellent countermeasures, which means that it's going to stop. It's going to help to sort of stop the attacks sort of coming up against it. It's got a short-range sensor array, which has got a scanning power of scanning range of 1M away, but it's but the small craft probably are sort of getting through a little bit sort of faster. It's got swarm targeting as well, but in this case, the sensor array, a scanning power of 100, the scanning range of 1M. If I go and press the with that one selected, if I go and press the Alt key and then go and click on that one and then go back out, you can see there it's about 1M out to here. Actually, no, it's only 1K. No, so it's not even 1M. So no, it should be able to identify what these actually are. These are all unknown little ships that it's not picking them up easily. They're unknown ships as well. We're not seeing anything with all of these. Unknown ship, yeah, that's weird. We should be able to see what's going on with those. Anyway, they've come from this this big fleet destroyer that is a pirate ship that's been taken over. So the Fatal Attraction is under attack by the Implacable Terror destroyer. So this is now like as if it was a surprise attack that has now come through. This thing here is disabled, which means that this one is actually part of the invasion of a sail. The Sixth Fleet. If we've got any damaged ships, they'll come up with red. This one here is fine at this point in time. So, and all of the Sixth Fleet are going after this ship here, the Crushing Scorpion. I think what I'll do is I'm going to go and change targets to the Implacable Terror, and let's go and actually attack that particular one. So I'm just going to do a long right click and attack that particular ship there. Because it attacked us first, there's no real issue. Okay, now we've got all these different messages going to be coming in. So the 22nd Invasion Fleet of the Famulus is taking towards Takama 2. Now that is not something I wasn't expecting. If we have a look and see, that's the 22nd Invasion Fleet, which I don't know where that actually is. 26th, 25th. I've just got to keep on picking up things. Oh, there it is there. That's miles away. Now this one has only got 1 infantry, 1 armour, so it's not going to be able to be good enough, so that I can ignore that one. I'm just going to right click. And then we've got the 26th Invasion Fleet is going to assail. The 26th is here. So it's actually now moving in. And it's only got 1 infantry, 2 armour. So again, the actual invasion itself is not that strong. This one here is has got 1 infantry, 2 armour as well. And it's also invading a sail. So I can get rid of that message. Under attack, we'll just go back in and have a look at this one here. So I'll just go to show me. This is the ship being attacked. Just keep on waiting. So they're now fighting against the small craft. Yeah, we can't see what's on board. Now they're trying to escape. So they're now moving back in. This is really interesting, I find, with the game. So they've all been given orders to board the carrier, the Implacable Terror. The carrier being this this large destroyer. And so they're coming back in. It's going to be starting to try to jump because it's now surrounded by our ships, so it can't fight against them. So the AI for this ship has decided that it's actually now too difficult. In fact, its overall objective now is to invade Takama 2 and staging at Narg. Now that particular fleet has got other ships around it, so it's actually going to also take over Takama 2, which is something we'll have our first fleet back here by that stage, so I don't really need to worry about that. That's not really going to be a big issue. Let's have a look and see how we're going down in this side. What have we got over here? Yeah, so this is actually where we've got like another fleet. This is our third fleet. The third fleet is actually not doing too much. There's a destroyer there. Where are they off to? 5th Strike Force is here. So the 5th is actually now in the middle of, it's just bounced in. and is going to be able to start to attack these different ships. There's going to be a lot going on in this side in through here. So there's stuff going to be happening all over the place. So I'll get the 5th to actually go and pick on certain units. So I'll just go and attack one ship at a time, and that way we should be able to then destroy that particular fleet. So they've only just arrived. Let's go back to the 6th again, and just watch as they come in and tackle this one. So this one's going to be trying to. The small craft will come in. These are point defense weapons. Now, where is that one going? Okay, we're now getting even more. So the 2nd is now going to Takema 2, and that's also going to Takema 2. So let's go and have a look and see where the 2nd and 9th are. I've just got to make sure, because there's so much going on. Got the 22nd going back. This is now the 25th. Looks like it's going back to Takema. No, that's still invading a sail. Where is it? Where's the second invasion fleet? It's the 25th. Second invasion fleet is going to bounce into the CO system and then come all the way back out here again. So that's one we don't have to worry about. That one has got only 1 infantry, 1 armour on board, so that's not really going to be able to do anything. Then the 9th, we need to find where the 9th actually is. They've got so many different fleets, like they're incredibly strong. And I just need to make sure that I don't leave, because they could have like one really, really big full fleet potentially somewhere that would actually, that would be able to take the planet. So we've got an unknown fleet there, which is set for defence. It's actually not an attack fleet, so that's really not an issue. Where the hell is the 9th? We're getting some sort of early warning. This is the Comanche's group, which is sort of coming back through. Yeah, I don't know where the 9th is. We don't have a long-range scanner out here. I don't know where it is. It means we've seen it somewhere. Oh, it may be from their home world, and it may have actually already left. If we go and have a look for the star, which is the Famulus system, we actually have a, and if we have a look at which, I don't know which of these is their home world, that is Famulus 3. We actually have on board here a, actually it's not there, Famulus 3, is that there? No, that's not it either. We should have an ambassador here. Yeah, it's not showing there. It's funny, I thought we actually had it. I'll just go back to our characters and just move the ambassadors across. We've got one at the Sioux, one at the Anoth, Comanche's Rheingold. An ambassador there waiting at Matrani 3. Okay, we'll send this one across to the Famulus Polymathia. So I'm going to make this one into manually controlled, and I'm just going to go and tell him that to go to Famulus 3. This way he'll be able to then also report on things that actually happen. So we'll just transfer to the new location. This is a human that we had picked up as an ambassador. So we'll move that one across. So that ambassador will then move across to help with everything that does go on. I've got no idea. And this is actually where I've got an undefended world in the middle of enemy territory, which makes it quite dangerous. This is why I need to try to find where the 9th is. One thing I can do is I can actually go and search for that. If I go into my exploration tab and then just do a, here, I think I can actually search for these. Invasion, nope. 9th. These are all just going to be executioner hives, etc. No, it's not actually. It's not picking up the. It's things that we're then aware of, with different groups and stuff. But it's fleet. It's not actually doing either. I'm not sure how. Yeah, it looks like we can't actually search for those. So let's leave those where they are. Where is it? Where is it? I thought it may have. We thought we may have had an ambassador here that saw a fleet leaving, and that would have been very, very important for us to pick up on. That's the second. Again, not really a big threat. It's got to be in here somewhere. It's got to be coming out of their territories. Let's just keep on going back and having a look to see what's going on. So if we just go back to the 6th Fleet again, so they're going to be trying to capture this ship. So this one here is trying to pull back its ships to like the small craft, and we're using point defense here to try to stop it from attacking us. You can see that these are now coming in. They're going to try to get on board. So we'll see if we can actually smash this one before anything else happens. Okay, we've actually now one of our agents, our spy, is called Quark. I've just got these on auto. So our agent Quark has evaded detection after successfully carrying out their mission to steal research information on planetary shields from the CO administrative clans. Okay, so one of our spies has actually now picked up planetary shields, which is useful. So that's a good one as well. So we can get a planetary shield generator now on our planets if we wanted to. Incoming there, the 9th. No, sure. I'm not sure where that is. I'll just dismiss it. I've just got to bring back the 1st if I absolutely have to. So these ships are now getting nice and close to attack this old pirate ship. Let's scroll out now and have a quick look and see what we've got. Still got the efficient blasters coming in less than a year. So what we want to do is we want to see what actually happens here. We've got the Shadow Force beams in through this other side, which may be the one that we want to get. I'm looking at the large Shadow Force beam there. It's 60 damage. I'll have to have a bit of a look at that because we're actually underclassed in terms of high power beam weapons, and it's doing damage to us. There should be another one off here, ultimately. Once we actually get this, that should then expose another one of the Maxos blasters. We should be able to get large Maxos blasters back in through there. It's almost good enough to go for. That's the Thuon beams. That's what we're currently using. But it's still not quite where we want it to be. Anyway, let's keep it going there, and just watch this particular thing. So these are going to go back in and land on this ship. You know, we're smashing through the shielding on the pirate ship as we get close. They've still got one of their small ships is coming in. We're breaking through the hull. We're doing damage onto the actual ship itself, but it's jumped. It's jumped and left one of its small craft behind. That's okay. The 6th, I'm just going to go and set this one up to attack the Crushing Scorpion again. So it's now moving in. That's going to be an easy one for us to have a look at. This is the remnants of their fleet as well. They've got other ships, part of that invasion fleet, are moving off to Takama. So they're all going back out this way. Can we see the 9th yet? We just can't see them. We've got no idea where their 9th invasion fleet is. So we're still moving. The 1st fleet is still on its attack vector out to Horner. This is where I have to think, do I need to skip back and get to Takama quickly to defend that, or am I okay? So look and see how the 5th are going in through here. So the 5th are still, the 5th seem to be all right. We do have one ship that's taken damage. So these are all trying to attack these very, very strong ships. This one is jumping away, so this is actually escaping. This is part of their 33rd fleet. If we have a quick look and see what the details are on this particular ship, we can then sort of see that it's got a pulse torpedo, which does 78 damage. Okay, so it's using that. I thought it was using an impact assault blaster there, which does 58. This is actually what I want to get, the impact assault blasters. So 58 damage really rips us apart. So we don't have anything close to this. And actually even that pulse torpedo is incredibly strong. So they're actual, even though they've only got 2 weapons on their ships, these are very, very strong weapons. So I'm just looking at the damage. The base damage there of 58 is the thing that's sort of the scary thing, just because it can do so much more damage through there. we have a quick look back at our and I think that is off here. So we've got the Maxos blasters. You can see that even when I get this, it's only going to do 19 damage. At the moment, we've got one down through here that does 48 damage, but only 3.52 per second, whereas the other one does 33. These ones here, the large at the right-hand side there does 60 damage, but only 4.4. So I need to get the damage rate up. Are we the green, says Angry Apple Tree? Yes, we are indeed. So we're the green. Hi Von Schweinhut, how are you going? And Demas Castle saying this, along with Distant Worlds Universe, is one of those games I love to learn and watch gameplay of, but can't stand to actually play myself. Thanks for the content. Yeah, it's one of those games, like, you can automate so much, and it really comes, like, I love the aspect of controlling the fleets. Like, this is something I really, really enjoy doing. We haven't lost too much just yet, but so we're going to use swarming tactics to take on their actual ships. Now that one's still sort of hovering around. The shields are slowly coming back down. This group in through here, these are aquatics, and these are incredibly clever. So they've actually got very, very high intelligence. And they've got incredible technology. So we've been able to steal a lot of their technology, but they are really, really powerful. So every one of their ships, like this ship has got a strength of 929. This is like 1,000, for example, is their overall strength. If I grab my whole 5th fleet, all of these ships together, the combined are worth two and a half of their ships. So I've got like 20 ships is the same strength as 2.5 of their actual ships. So their fleet here, this is where I have to sort of make sure that I've got my ships compressed together to be able to use swarm tactics against their individual ships. This one here is almost done, actually. This one, the shielding is down. It's got iron damage. One of its sensors has been knocked out with iron weaponry. So we do actually have, so again, the 5th are sort of separated here. Need to bring them back together. And we do have the one ship which is injured, which is this ship here. So this one here is sort of is struggling. So it's nothing too bad just yet. If I hover over it, we can then sort of see the damage, the destroyed and disabled. In this case, it's really nothing much. It's just the shielding is dropping. So the shielding is sort of dropping away on that particular ship. Should still be okay. I think now's the time to watch this particular fight. So let's go in and just keep on watching here. So I've told them all to target this ship, but they'll take whatever they can. There, it's trying to jump away. Do we have enough? It's jumped. This one here is disabled. It's trying to jump as well. So let's just go back to the 5th. And we will attack this one now. So we'll just try to get them to swarm. I could go after any one of these, but these are they've got too much. Their shielding is too high. This is another aspect of why these rate so high, is because they've got incredible shields. Like the shielding that they actually have is with one of their engines. This one does have an engine that's actually out. We actually have the big advantage we actually have with our ships is, if I go back to one of the frigates, or this is my heavy escorts. Where's a destroyer? There's a destroyer there. This is my most powerful ship. Which rates 342 in comparison to their 1,000. For a lowly old frigate, their rates 1,000. For their destroyers, 1,300. So my destroyer is 1,000 points of strength off theirs, so a lot worse. But we actually have more weaponry on ours. If we have a quick look at the weaponry on our destroyer, so this is the actual destroyer that we've designed for ourselves. And so we've got 2 large Thuon beams. Now the Thuon beams are sort of direct damage type weapons, but they don't do anywhere near the damage that the enemy does. So this is why we want to switch them out for the very, very heavy hitting weapons that they have. So we're trying to this war we're not going to be able to do it, but we're trying to get those big impact blasters that the enemy has. We've got the deal breaker beam. This is unique for us. And this one here, you can see there under the damage, it says 52, but the damage per second is only 2.2 per second. So very, very low damage per second. And that comes down because we have a firing rate of every 18 seconds it will fire. But this one does interesting things. So what the deal breaker beam does is you'll sort of see down through the like towards the bottom end there, it's got a range of 1600, which is average. That's okay. The damage fall off just means that the closer we are to it, the more powerful it's going to be. That's the speed of the actual beam, which is basically instantaneous. Shield bypass. So it actually bypasses shielding. So 30%, like so essentially 30% of the damage will actually hit the shield and then go through onto the armor, and then the damage that's left over when you've also got an armor bypass. This is one of these unique weapons in the game where you've actually got both shield bypass and armor bypass. And so when the deal breaker beam, it goes through like a hot knife through butter, because it goes to the shield layer, breaks through that one, goes to the armor layer, and some of it bleeds through into the hull of the ship. And once you've actually got damage going into the hull of the ship, all the componentry then comes under potential to actually cause damage to the internal components. So you've got a chance to knock things out by using things like the deal breaker beam. Most other weapons, like the Thuon beams, you can see they do double the damage per second with what they end up doing. But the actual, but you'll see there down the bottom through there again with after the range of 1650, it really doesn't do anything. It just, if it hits the shields and the shields are up, it's going to only do damage to the shields. It has to break the shields down, then it will go to the armor, and then it will finally get to the hull once the armor's down. Whereas a deal breaker beam, when it does fire, can knock things out. So quite often you'll find that ships will try to run and flee once they're actually if they're up against deal breaker beams, because the internals of the ships will have taken damage. So if we have a quick look and see some of the enemy ships that have been attacked, like this one here at 99%, this means that there's actually been that the deal breaker beam has actually attacked this ship and has actually broken through the shielding, the armor, and then the hull to damage one of the engines. So if I go and have a look at this destroyer, we can see there's a proton engine there at 72% health. This is an impulse engine, so it's actually sort of just going to be slower in combat until they fix it. They'll have like the damage control unit, which will then go around and repair the ship. So that will be under repair. Unless if it's damaged, it can be repaired. If it's been destroyed, it can't be repaired until it actually goes back to a spaceport. So in that case, the block armor is also at 99%, because we've sort of we've gone through the shield, hit the armor. Most of the damage has gone, like a little bit of damage to the armor itself, and then bled through onto the internals and actually knocked down an engine. So that's actually what one of the deal breaker beams has done. That's the power of the deal breaker beam. As opposed to just the brute strength of their weapons. In fact, if we have a quick look and see what they've got. So they've got the big impact assault blaster. This is the one that's sort of scary. You can see there the damage per second, 33 damage per second, 58 damage overall. It doesn't have any sort of ability other than, it's a bit like our Thuon beam, which does 3 or 4 damage per second. So it's this is 10 times stronger, the actual assault blaster that they've got. We don't have access to that just yet. And the pulse torpedoes as well. The pulse torpedoes are interesting because they're weak against shields, but once the shields are down, they smash their way through armor. So they can then sort of torpedoes can be very, very good once the shielding is down. So but they need to get through the shielding to start with. So anyway, that's sort of where we are. Shielding will also fail every so often and allow shots to get through. Anyway, that's sort of where we are there. We'll just unpause. That's a deal breaker beam, the big white beams that we see every so often. So this one here is actually certainly taking damage. It's trying to jump. You'll also see iron damage. We have iron weaponry on some of our ships. This is a disabling weapon. I'm thinking, what are we firing on? Take the rampage, which is that one there. I'll let that one go. It's still disabled, but it can still jump. In this case, for it to jump, what it needs to have is the hyperdrive, which is actually operating normally, and a reactor, which is operating normally as well. So that one will possibly be able to escape, even though it's quite badly damaged. There we go, deal breaker beam being fired on this ship, and it's still trying to escape. You can see that there's 2 weapons have been destroyed. It really doesn't have a lot it can actually then go and do. We've got a whole lot of small craft coming in through this other side. These are basic bombers and things. They're going off to attack different ships through here. I'm assuming if there's this, like these little fleets of small craft must be coming either from the, no, they've only got, we've got nothing left there. So Misum 1 must have a hive fighter base. There it is there. 24 fighters, so 12 each. So they're swarming off to attack this particular destroyer. So that will then have the small craft go up against it. So unpause again. Yep, so that's not going to make it. All right, that's now down. That's been destroyed. That's good. And this all helps with us with our war score. You can see there that we don't have it all our own way. Things certainly are sort of happening different ways. New spies appeared. We've got a little Artuk spy. Let's just go back to the first again, just make sure that they're actually okay. So they're still in space, moving down towards this attack. I'm just not seeing that. The Takama system we have to protect, but I'm not seeing it. Not seeing the ninth invasion fleet is unknown to me. So anyway, we'll probably get another warning as it gets a bit closer. They're now moving off that invasion fleet, this invasion fleet, which means that the 6th fleet has now got no mission. So I'm just going to go and tell it to go back to defend the home system again. So it'll just go back into there. So I'll just, by doing that, I'm just saying, okay, I'm no longer going to be micromanaging this fleet. Off you go to that particular location. We do actually have Admiral von Schweinhund with that group. Now he is transferring to Orangutang's library in the 3rd fleet. So he's already, now I'll just make sure that he is actually, yeah, he's set to manual control. So I'm in control of him, but he's on the process of moving across to the 3rd fleet, which is, where are you? Yeah, so we've got another ship which has been disabled here. This is they keep on targeting the Orangutang's library, which is our most powerful ship. It's an ancient ship that we did pick up. Now this is actually also happening in the same area that we were looking at over through here. So we had the attack going back this way. In fact, if I just go back to the 5th and tell them to keep on targeting some of these ships. And we'll go and get the 3rd and tell them to start to target some of these. So if we just get the 3rd fleet and attack their evil raider. There's all the beams. Hyperdrive is offline. So I can't escape now. That one's almost dead as well. It's been destroyed. I'll attack that one now as well. How are we going with the, yeah, it's building up all of its fighter craft, so all the fighter craft have been destroyed in fights and things. That's a human. The humans control that, and they're actually now subjugated to the Famulus Polymathia. Like we were very, very close with them at one stage. So the 3rd fleet again is at Takama 2 Spaceport, is its actual home base. I'm going to tell it to also then just go back and defend, and I'll just see how big it is. Same system, so it's going to go back across. So that's now going to move off, and so the 3rd can now go back to its actual station. So it came in through to Misum to help out, but it's no longer required. So we can go back and defend Takama while this attack goes in. Oh, hang on, one thing no, I don't have enough money to crash research this, unfortunately. Otherwise I would. So the ancient ships that we picked up initially are now sort of coming back through. They've just launched their small craft. One thing you can do in the game as well is actually look at it from the perspective of different things. So if I go and pick up one of these basic bombers as an example, I can go to Control B, which will actually give me the bridge view Does it actually, is it Control B? Or is it just B? Shift B? Can't remember what the actual change view. Default is B. So what's the bridge? I thought it was Control. I thought it was Shift B. Just make sure I've got it selected. It's a basic fighter. So Shift B. There we go. So I'm now looking through the bridge. I wish that there was more that you could do with this, but you're just watching the attack go in from the perspective of a fighter. So we'll just watch this attack. You really can only really do this effectively when you know that you're safe, which is, this is just a mining station. So the other ships are now firing, specific weapons. There's defences going in as well. You can see that there's going to be bomber runs going in as well. So there's other small craft in and around us. I can't control the fighter craft, but I can control the big ships. But I don't need to in this case. It's just a matter of smashing this thing and destroying it, because it's one of the war objectives that we actually have. There we go, beam weapons for being fired. And now we'll start to sort of see attacks coming in from these other guys as well. So they're firing with their weaponry. This is just a mining station. And so we can see it's now starting to take damage. Very nice and close. So we're going to be firing with the weaponry that we have. What do we have? We've got Thorn beams. Actually, we're flying through it now. We're clipping through. The game's not really designed to be like that. There we go. We've actually now done it. So that was a war mission that we had, which back up and through here. Destroyed enemy mining station, the Horner 2 mining station. We get a war score, so we're up to now 127,000. So we're ahead of them with what's going on, and so we'll dismiss that one. And I'll just go back. So these ships will now go back and return to their actual carrier ships, which will be back in here somewhere. So it'll go back to one of the big ships, one of these ships here. So they'll all just go in and land. I'm not sure which one it is. Looks like it's this one here, maybe. There we go. So if I just go back out to B is the default view of the game. If you press the tab key, you can then sort of go and get different sort of angles. And if you press the Shift Q, you can then start to sort of move through either north or west. To have it so it's facing north. I just like to have it facing north just so that so you've got context, but you don't have to with everything that's actually going on. So basic fighter is just going to be placed on board. So the first fleet has now done its mission. So it's now destroyed that mining station that was back in through there. We do actually have strike forces now coming back in this other side. Because the third fleet is coming back out to Takama, I think I can go to Narg with the first fleet and actually do some damage back out through this other side. One of the things we can now do, now that we've sort of taken out that like we've got a few different things we have to do. We need to defend an important refueling station. This is the Blizna 2 mining station. I'm not even sure where that is. It's sort of one of these things where if I hover over it, it maybe should sort of show me. There it is. It's miles away from everywhere. It's a bit of a backwater. I'm not going to try to defend that. If they do take it, so be it. And then we also need to defend, this is to defend Takama 2, which is where we are. We are going to be defending that one sort of fairly religiously. So that will be sort of, well, it's one that we actually took over by invasion fairly recently. So, first fleet, with what we actually ended up having through here. You can see this one here does have a very, very strong rating. I think Narg, or actually one thing we can do is we can go back into our military tab, which is this one through here, and actually then go to targets. So we've got a whole lot of different sort of sub areas we can then go and have a look at, from military ships through to fleets, through to troops, admirals and generals, defensive bases, monitoring stations, new monitoring locations. So these are potential sort of areas that may be sort of worth sort of getting a monitoring location on if we wanted to. Don't think I need to. Enemy targets and then dangerous locations. So we've got a few different things where there were different enemies sort of spotted across the range of different sorts of things. But we can go back into enemy targets and try to pick up things and sort of automate the ability for us to then go and actually attack certain things. I can then hover over. So the second invasion fleet is invading Takama 2 and staging at Narg. We've then got things like, for example, different mining stations. So these are all enemy targets. There's 263 of them that we're aware of. And so I can pick and choose my targets from this location. All of these circles now are target locations for us where we can start to sort of do damage. It could even be that we actually end up, we're not at war with the Comanche, so if we were, I would probably actually go and try to take over as many of their bases as possible. But in this case, what I think I'll do is actually just go and secure. You can see there's a whole lot of different targets all the way through here as well. There's different mining stations and things that we can sort of then go and make good with. Let's have a quick look. So we've got one there. So the Ereneu mining station. I can actually set these up. So queue and attack against this one through this other side. So if I've got like raiding forces, I can actually then just go and say, okay, here's a target for you. Here's another target for you. So that one there, let's have a look and see what that actually is. This one here has got Atrian Fur and Vodkal. That's not bad actually. What we might do is the first, but another one, so we've got two of them in through there. This one here is mainly sort of steel. Actually, they've got a lot of stuff in through here. Mining stations, they've got a hell of a lot. What I might do is I might just queue up the attacks on each of these. I can either queue them up, I can also set them up to capture. The first one I might capture actually. So we'll just go and set that one up for capturing. But I might just get the first to do that one automatically. We've got a lot of boarding assault strength. So the one that we said set for capture is this mining station here. Let's have a look and see where that is. So with that one selected, it's way out over here. So the enemy, because we took this over from the enemy, like now we've got an opportunity to actually sort of wipe out their infrastructure in our system. So we're going to, I'm just going to get the first fleet and just tell it to go and capture this particular mining station. So they'll go and try to capture that one. They may be too powerful and destroy it, but anyway, we'll just bring that one in. Let's go and unpause and wait for things to happen. Research breakthrough. Okay, so we've given us a research breakthrough in water colonization. So we're getting closer. If I, so we're finding gunk back in through here. This is after that attack. We're sort of now finding research breakthroughs sometimes in the debris that's sort of left over. Still got the efficient blasters. If we go down to colonization, we won't have gotten. Oh, we did get water colonization. All right, that just makes the deep ocean and ocean worlds become a little bit easier for us to colonize, like another +4. That may bring some other planets back into where we could go and get colonies there. If we have a look at potential new colonies, what we're looking for here are colonies that have got a more than 20 in suitability. There is a marshy swamp world there. Where's that? So this is actually Ganab, which is it's deep inside their territory. So not worth getting. I can do it while I'm at war. And this one as well. Actually, this is too far away. So we can't actually go and do that one. So it needs to be sort of close-ish. There's nothing else that's over 20, so I won't worry about that one. I'll just leave them where they are. All right, so no, we won't worry about any other colonies. So we did get that research breakthrough. We'll dismiss that. And new small spaceport completed. So the reason we got that ocean colonization is because these are aquatic. It's an aquatic faction, and so they are from ocean worlds. So in this case, we've got a marshy swamp world from that one, but their home world should be deep ocean, I think. Oh no, that's marshy swamp as well, mangrove forest, but they're still essentially a aquatic faction. So that's sort of why we picked up that ability there. So first is coming through. Fifth is moving back, invading Takama 2. But again, doesn't really have the ability to do much. Here comes the first to capture that mining station. So we need to defend an important research station at Takama Research Station. I'll accept that because we're going to actually have enough power here to pretty much be able to do anything we like. So that's now given us the third option, the third thing there for the war. Now I don't want to stay at war for too long, but I definitely want to get rid of all of their, I want to remove all of their what they've got. The fifth, what are they doing? It's got no mission. I'll set them back to defend. They're going to defend this whole region in here. Actually, I might set them to raid. If I go and tell them to raid, what raiding will then do inside that area? It will then, and I know that there's a location out here somewhere, I think. If we go and have a look again at the targets, yeah, anything that's with a circle, there's a target there, for example, at the Teklui mining station. It'll be wanting to turn and take that one out. So that's fine. So raiding we can sort of do, and I might set the first up to raid just in here as well, just to remove enemy locations once we've sort of got that one protected. If we go back to the third fleet is coming back to just defend this particular location. Now it's got no mission, but it will actually go back. It's waiting for fuel tankers at this stage, but it will move across fairly soon. Incoming fleet detected. 24th Strike Force. Okay, so there's a Strike Force 24th, that one through there, is moving in towards the spaceport at Takama 2. So they're moving in to attack this. Now, this is currently... this one's okay, actually. This one's fine. We only have 2 interceptors, 2 bombers, so it's fairly weak. On board, we've actually imprisoned a general. We've found we've got an enemy general that's been imprisoned there. So that would have been dropped off by one of our fleets. So that's this one here is actually he will be somebody from the Artuks. So we must have captured him and then moved him off. These are the different prisoners that we actually have, that we've sort of captured over time, either through sort of capturing them with our spies or with military. And he would have been a military one. Incoming fleet detected. Yep, so that's okay. We'll just dismiss that message. I'll just go back up to normal speed. This is the 24th Strike Force. So here they come. They're coming in to attack. Now this thing here rates 1300, and our star base here is going to rate less than that, I think. 900. So it's still up there. Second invasion fleet. Now this is the one that we couldn't find. Where the hell is it? Or was it the 9th? The second I think we may have found. 35th. Unknown. Second is way back over there. Yeah, that's not going to really worry us. So we'll get rid of that one through there. Actually, location maps were discovered in the debris. Incoming fleet detected. Yeah, we don't need to worry about that one. So I'm just right-clicking on these. Accept trade. I'm not going to do it. I don't have enough money, so I'm just going to decline that one. Here they come the rest. We may have to move the first back off to defend this. We'll see how we go. This one we should have the fighter base, the high fighter base. Yep, there it is. And we should see a whole heap of fighter craft coming out fairly soon to help defend the spaceport. 26 invasion fleet. It's going back to a sail. I'll just dismiss that one. Oh, where's the small craft? Here they come. They're sort of swarming in behind this one. Actually, I better get the first in to help with this. So I'll just divert them from that capture mission. Oh! Now we found an escape pod in the Misum system. And so Admiral Yadu Mardu. So if we go and actually show us where that is. So one of our passenger ships has actually picked him up. He will then take him back to another location. So there was a battle that was fought out through here. And so we've got different ships are picking up different things. And we've actually now picked ourselves up a fairly good admiral. Does a lot of different things. I've got negative money at the moment, so I can't really sort of try to get him on board. Yep, so we're finding different loot with the ships that we've been destroying. So the 28th Strike Force of the Feminist is detected traveling towards Misum 1 spaceport. Now the 5th should be able to look after that one. What's this group? Attack Misum 1. This is the strike force here. High strength. 5th is still just sitting here, so they should be fine. So we'll just leave them where they are and just go back to the other attack going at Takama. Yep, more invasions coming into Takama. We'll be fine. 3rd Fleet is moving off to Takama 2 now. We're losing here. It's where we need to get the 1st Fleet in to help out as quickly as possible. Here comes the small craft again. Here they come. So the start of our 1st Fleet has now sort of arrived to take on these ships. Small craft have been sort of let go. Just go back to half speed again. Do find the... Oh, wow. Straight through, there's a deal breaker beam that's now gone and smacked this thing completely. This thing has got down a bit low, but it's not too bad. And they're just going to now take all these things on. So that is Admiral Sev. Hasn't been disabled yet. Can't quite reach it. That one's still, that's got iron damage. Its reactor is offline, which means it can't jump. So you will see it'll be blue because iron beams have actually been able to get through. So the Nova Core reactor has been disabled for 26 seconds, which means I don't have to rush this. Like they can't fire up the Jerex hyperdrive without having reactor. If we have a look across at the energy, so this is actually what they've got at the moment. So they've got no energy at all to put into powering anything at all. So this is like a dead ship. So the 1st Fleet can focus really on this ship here. So the Red Eclipse, oh, that one's trying to jump, but it does actually have, it does have the Jerex hyperdrive and the reactor back up, and we'll sort of see that it's now certainly has enough energy to do the jump, but not for long. It's gone straight away. All right, and then we'll just get the 1st to destroy this one now as well. So by swarming, we certainly have a big advantage, and also these ships here are incredibly strong. It's gone. Good. Nothing much else there. Now they've got different ships coming in here. Pick up hull bracing. These are coming in to try to find the loot that was left over. I'm going to leave them to it because what I want to do here is they're sort of an enemy. They're like a pseudo enemy. This invasion fleet, 401 armored. It's not going to be able to do anything. So it's invading. It's invading Takama 2. You know, I might as well destroy it, I think. So let's just get the 1st Fleet to sit back out near where these ships actually are. Just move to that location. So they can move out. Right, no 97% now with the efficient blasters. I don't want to put these on. I just want to open up the what we can then go and do next. And I'm going to need money to do that. Probably about 2,000 to 4,000, I think, to be able to then pick the next next area. So watch this invasion coming in. Sure, a few of the comments. Sorry, guys, I keep on missing the comments. Valanus is saying so many of the reviews for Distant Worlds 2 complain about the game playing itself. Yeah, this is where people struggle. Is when to do things with automation, and the game is actually addressing that. Like if there's an automation setting that is in play when you get a message, it actually now tells you what that is, and I think that's a great move because it actually allows you then to make the changes you need to make with the automation itself. Which one it's saying, yeah, don't know, or do you mean fighting itself? I think it's one of those things where the automation gets in the way for some people because people are so used to doing all of the work that they don't realise this game is designed not for that to happen. So it's sort of you play it a very different way than a standard Space 4X. And so I think that Valanus is right about that it's playing itself. In fact, I often look at the reviews to sort of see what people are saying about the game, and I do get surprised, I've got to say, by some reviews from people who have played for like 50 hours and then still like when the reason that they'll give a low score will actually be because of something that the game actually already has. And so it makes me realise that the game is such a massive game that often when people actually you can play for an awfully long period of time and not realise that there's stuff in the game that will actually fix them. See in our cash flow. So I'm comfortable with where I am. I would like it to be better. It will eventually be better, but not yet. So that will come in the long term. So I'm not really too concerned about what's going on with that one. Hi Sheikh Vivid, how are you going? There's a lot of Haarkonish ships. They are, but they're technically weaker than the enemy, but we're doing okay. So Blight Fang is saying, morning Daz, how's the new game? It's not new. I think I remember seeing a game like this, but I could have sworn it was land-based RPG. I'm not sure which one you mean, sorry. No, not sure there. So Salamons are saying the game plays itself critique is, in my opinion, an overreaction. The game doesn't force you to use automation. Keep it on manual if you want, which you don't probably really want to do. Meanwhile, automation lets you play the game elements you want. Exactly. That's exactly what it is. By the way, Salamons is the modder that I've sort of really been using a lot because Salamons actually does a lot of cosmetic mods for the game, and including what I'm using for the resources, which I absolutely love. It's sort of one of those things like I modded Distant Worlds Universe a lot, and part of what I did for that particular game was did something similar, but not to the same depth that Salamons has done with the resources, just to colour them, so you can actually have them colour coded to know what's going on. So I find it incredibly useful to actually use that one. So I think if I was going to be building a mod, the first mod I would have built would have been the same one that Salamons built. So I don't need to do it now, which is great. Anyway, let's continue on. We're just going to go and position ourselves. 25th invasion is coming into a sail. Now, I've got to keep on having a look at this because how far off are they? And is the 6th back where it needs to be? Here they come. 26th, 25th. So they're moving in now, getting very, 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 very close. So this fleet is now coming back in to get ready to do its thing. It's got 2 armor, 1 infantry. That's not enough for it to take that world. And this one here has got 1 infantry, 2 armor. So not too much. There is actually a general, a pretty poor general in that group. And then we've got this one as well, just coming back in. No general on board that one. The 6th has got no mission, but is set to defend. Now it's going to. I'm going to manually position this in front. Well, it's pretty close, but see, they're going to start here and then move in towards the planet. So I'm going to bounce ahead of the planet. They're going to be arriving around about here. So I'm just going to go and get the 6th Fleet to go out to here. So just move to that location, and that way we'll just meet them when they come in to do the invasion. In the meantime, back to the Takama system, where we actually have like another invasion fleet coming back in. Again, not with too many. Look, we've got a bit of stuff going on through here, so we'll meet this one as it comes in. And these are not really enemies, but they're trying to get in to take the loot. Now these are leaving construction yards. Some of these will just automatically pick up. Yeah, they're picking up hull sections and things. Come on, guys, get in before these others do. These may turn and run straight away. Refueling at Narc 2. Yeah, they're moving off straight away. All right, let's go and take out what we can. We want to just be destroying troops. So I'm going to attack the Swift Claw. That's the torpedoes. These are troop carriers. Already destroyed a lot of its shielding. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. Now, we've got a monitoring facility under attack by a Gravelex. I'll dismiss that. We're going to lose that. Here we go. We've got efficient blasters now. Now, we've got enough money to hopefully get the next one. So, that's ideal. Hopefully, it'll then open up enemy fleet, the 30th Defence. Not sure where that is. We'll just dismiss that. So, we're trying to now get light cruisers, but before I get that, I'm going to go back up the top, and hopefully we've got advanced blasters here. So this here is it's only the Maxos blaster. It's not the one that I wanted. High power blasters. This is the Impact Assault Blaster. Now they've already got large of these. And I don't have enough, I'm not smart enough with my weapons research. I've got 15% bonus, but I need 20 to be able to go and get this one here. Well, I've got the, which one can we get? The long range beams. This is where I really need to be. Okay, so these ones aren't too bad for little mediums, like 8 per second. These medium blasters. I think what we'll do is let's go and get them now. Pay the costs. So we'll just get the Maxos blasters and we'll just move them to the top of the tree. So we'll get them first. It's going to take 5 and a bit years. So we'll start to get those, and then we may flip back across and grab these. So these have still got like a reasonable damage rate of 8.18. It's the long range beams. I can't afford this now, but the Shadow Force beams only do 4 damage per second. I think I'll go this way with the blasters. So with those, we'll just start to sort of specialise up in that particular way. We need to get our weapon research up. So if we go down to the research labs and just see what's available for us ultimately, we won't be able to afford it just yet. Structured research. Now this one will give me an all research of plus 10%. That's actually very, very useful. But I don't have enough money to do that one just yet. So it can be so this one will then give me the Science Academy, which I would like to go and get. Actually, that's going to be very, very important. There's a lot of things that are more important than these other things that we've got. So that's definitely one of them. If I got the all research with that one there, I would then be at 25% for weapons research, which would be good. At the moment, we've got research labs, which just give us advanced research. The other way I can try to fix this one up, if we just go back out and sort of evaluate the what's going on here. So I can do a search for research stations. and just see if there's any that are close by that the enemy has got that is a weapons research. So if I do a search and if I just put the word research in, it should then pick up all the different research stations around on the actual map itself. And so we can, oops, hang on, that's not research. So this is going to be all the different research stations. So all these other ones, there's actually there's a mining station there. There's one over this way. If we go and click on each of these, we can then see that's high tech. That's too, I'm not sure where that actually is. Artists, back over this other side, is troop and shield research. The Biblis, that's controlled by us anyway. That's sensor, that's controlled by us way up through there. That's hyperdrive and reactor. Hoshimund is way over this other side. That's high tech. Not sure where that one actually is. That one there is it's controlled by the humans. I won't worry about that one. All research. This is from the Actarians. All research, ancient knowledge. Shields. Industrial. Engine. That's one of that we control anyway. The Moshkos is shields, way over here. The Bacandus. Sensors. 19 for armor research. The research station back over there is not really going to help us much. Armor research there. Shield research. Hyperdrive research. Hyperdrive and reactors. Industrial. Takuma. Now this is we're already under construction here. This is armor research, so it's not going to help us for weaponry. Hyperdrive. We're not finding much in here with weaponry. Sometimes you sort of find something and you think, okay, I'm going to try to make that into a bit of a war score. You know, there's nothing there. We can't see any weapon research locations at all. So that's from what we sort of know. So that's fine. We'll just go and remove all of that and close that bit down. So anyway, that's so we're going to have to do it the hard way, which means we're going to have to improve our ability to actually do research. And for that, yeah, oh God, I'm almost tempted to actually get that one before we do much else. What else did we need to do there? What was the cost of that research? If I just go down to, where is it? Ancient knowledge. Research areas. That's going to cost me 4,500. So I think I might go and grab that one as soon as I can afford it and actually put that into my number one. So let's keep a bit of an eye on now. Where were we fighting? We're fighting in the Takuma system. So we're trying to destroy what we could here. So this one here is still being chased. The tractor beams, trying to pull it back. Reactor is offline, so it can't jump anymore. Now these, just having a quick look to see if any of these have got troops, but all the troops from the group are on this ship here, so it's not going to escape. These just do their own thing. They'll just go and find their own targets. Yeah, that's dead. It's gone. There wasn't a general in there, was there? No, that's okay. I thought that was the American flag there. I thought, what's the American flag doing floating around in space? Now, the first still actually has boarding assault strength, a fairly high boarding assault strength. Let's go off and take this particular world, this particular mining station now. So we'll just go back in and capture that one there and sort of get them back on their raiding ways. So we'll just go back and put them as raiders, but the first thing they're going to do is capture that particular one. So they'll now move off with the orders that we had given to start to sort of do different things. Now, Yeah, that's actually this research station. This is not something we want to be losing. Damn. How far away is that? Oh, that's miles away. I've got no way to protect that. And yeah, we're going to lose this. Yeah, it's a shame. There's no way we can protect it. It's too far away from our systems. They are certainly worth trying to protect if we can. Hi Quark, how are you going? Someone's saying I appreciate that, and thank you for the mod shout-outs. No, they're great little mods. Great mods. So these are all picking up their the loot. So they've picked up their fighter craft and are now moving off to do this particular attack. So the first thing they need to do is whittle away the shielding defences. The destroyer Quark is under attack. Attack him a 6. That's okay. Just dismiss that one. Decline that. We've actually now got enough money, so let's go back across and get that, so we can just do that extra weapon research. So structured research, we will actually pay the cost of this one, and I'm going to put this one to now number 1. Oops, yep, there we go. So structured research, we'll get that one done in about 5 years. Where's that? So we've got a monitoring station out here. Oh, in the middle of their territory. That's going to show us a lot of what's going on. It'll be destroyed though. Yep, so the 22nd is moving back in. That'll be it there, I think. Yep, that's the 22nd. So they're moving back to Narg. We'll actually end up destroying Narg. So I'm coming in now. So the first I'll just use for raiding everywhere. I'll probably actually end up manually controlling that one. I wouldn't mind getting hold of the Narg system. The third fleet is sort of going to be heading over this way. So the third is all the way over here. Yep, second invasion fleet, Takama 2, that's fine. And then the 27th Strike Force travelling towards the CO7 mining station. Now this is a mining station that we already have a fleet here. So we've actually got, this is sort of like a gunship, what is it, gunship diplomacy. This is in the home system of the CU, and they're not going to like that, but compared to them, we're very, very strong. And so there will be a fleet coming back to raid this, but we do actually have the, is it the second? Yeah, second defence force in through here. Its base is exactly this mining station, so it's set to raid. I'll keep it on raid. Like, it'll still just do its own thing. I might set it to defend. It's going to defend that system. All right, it's a bit of a backwater, but anyway, things are sort of happening there. 37th Invasion Fleet. Nothing much on board that one. Research station here. We're not going to be able, we're being attacked all over the place here. So another invasion fleet going to a sail. We've got the 6th fleet waiting for them. Escort is under attack. The Missum system. Interesting. Now Missum, I think it's just a little raiding fleet that's actually back out this way. And so we shouldn't really have to worry about them too much. The 5th is here. The 5th is spread out a little bit though. but they are still around. They are going to they're going to be able to destroy these things, I think. It's trying to jump. So these are just automatically doing their things. The 5th is set to raid. So I've got a few ships that are damaged here. So there must have been another attack there that we weren't really aware of. Let's just go back into here. So they're going to drop the shielding and then we'll try to capture this. Just go to each of my fleets and just make sure we don't have to top them up at all. 3rd, 4th, 5th. The 5th does need to have one destroyer, so it did lose a destroyer somewhere, so we'll just go and build one of those. 6th, the 7th, and then we don't have an 8th. These are freight haulers which are coming in to try to take freight from this location. So we'll destroy them as well because we're at war. First should be capturing. Don't have any troops on board just yet. Looks like them going in now, is it? No, that's just small craft. That's a capture. No, that's mining operations. There we go. There goes the troops to go and capture that one. There it is. Need to get more troops. There we go. There's more troops now coming back across into here. And with those, yeah, we're about even. We need one more to go in. Here comes more. Coming. So there's more troops coming in here now. So we've actually now got the start of a invasion group back over this other side. No idea where it's going. Just leave that one alone. So there's more. This invasion fleet is now coming back in to try to invade a sail. There goes the 26. They've actually decided that it was too difficult, and these will as well. These will actually get in there and think, okay, it's too much for me. We'll move off. So where are they all heading off to? Unknown mission. See what happens. So Quark is saying, am I captured or destroyed or dead? You actually did very, very well. You actually stole, which one was it? You stole a nice little tech for us. So we've now captured that mining station. Let's have a quick look and see. So we've now got that captured with the first fleet. So that's actually now been done. So we've now got control of that one. I think what I'll do is I'm going to go back across into the Narg system. There's an invasion fleet there from the Shiats. 2 infantry, 7 armor. That's a little bit more. Now that's trying to invade our home system. These we're not at war with either, but these are actually subjugated to the Famulus Polymathia. So they're coming in now. They keep on staging in this location, and there is a refueling station here. So this big gas giant here, it's only got low fuel rate, but this is actually where they keep on refueling from. Now this is technically not one of ours, or not one that's not an enemy. What I think I'll do is I'll just I'll go back to our targets. If I go back to the first, they're going to be raiding anyway. They're just going to keep on going off and attacking different mining stations, the ones that we had set up as targets. So anything within this range, I can then set them up to go after specific things. So let's go back and just use the automation system for this. So we've got, for example, we've got the mining stations in the Takama system, which will go and destroy those. That one's coming back. Got another one back in there. We'll target this one as well. This is the another mining station. Yeah, these technically aren't where we are. If we just go back across into war targets all, that way we're only going to get targets that are actual targets. And we've already now got all of these things targeted. The first fleet is already going off to attack that mining station. So all these mining stations in here. Now that's a target, but it's not a valid target. And we do have the Hubble mining station there. I don't know why that didn't show up. Or maybe it will a bit further down. Xanthar 1 I'm not really interested in. Yeah, that's okay. I'll leave that where that is. We'll just go and get rid of those initial ones. Okay, so we've captured that one. Incoming fleet. Dismiss that. Here they come. Okay, so this little group in through here, these are Gizarians. And so they're going to be attacking, but again, they haven't declared war. So if we go back and have another look at them. So the Famulus Polymathia is friendly with the humans, which unfortunately they don't like them, which is good because the humans were our friends. Comanches are now also getting angry with them, and the Shiats are very friendly with them. So the Shiats are coming in to sort of help them out. So they've got like defense packs and things, but because the Famulus attacked us, we're not at war with them as such, unless, and like, I mean, they're still considered noble. It's so funny that they would do this attack when we're technically not actually at war with each other, but they're just helping out their friend. So we'll have to just wait for them. So if we go back to the third fleet, which is sitting right here, I'm going to have to wait for them to make the first move, if we can. So we're in exactly the right position here. So they're all now congregating in, just getting ready for this invasion fleet, which will be arriving. Decline that. Here they come. Now, will they attack? Will there be a standoff? Moving to Goyle Gima. So I don't want to actually go and attack them if they're not going to attack me. Now look at this. We've got the humans coming in as well. We've got these guys loading troops at Scaliger 3. Scaliger 3 is one of their planets, so they're building troops over in here, but not much. It's a fairly weak little planet that's actually losing money. So again, I don't want to be invading planets that are going to be losing money, but there's all the different invasion fleets now coming back in this way. But interestingly here, we have the humans, which are coming in as well to try to invade us. 7 infantry, 5 armor. We've got a lot of troops on the ground, and they're going to have to sort of destroy a lot of different things in here as well. I wonder if we can build a defensive base in here. And yeah, we've got a space bastion for 18,000. I can actually afford to do this. This is an expensive build, but this is exactly the sort of location that you do want to have these defensive type bases. Let's have a quick look and see what that actually is. I'm just letting the AI design those. Let's go by roll. So defensive base DFB2, 18,000 through there. The maintenance is 772 per year. Let's go back and edit this one and just see what it's actually got. So it's got like a lot of torpedoes, tractor beams. It's not dramatically, it's very, very powerful. Like it's, I mean, it's very strong. It does have a lot of starfighters, but only small ones. I might cancel that. I don't think I'll worry about it. I might redesign them myself. Siv was saying, did you start a new campaign after the update? No, I didn't. When I read through the actual changes with the update, I decided not to actually go and restart because I think that was sort of more like a standard message, because there wasn't too much that when I read through that I thought would actually impact the game that we've actually got. So I'm just still playing on the same one. Incoming fleet detected. So we've got the so they're going after different mining stations. This is the one that we actually had just taken over. So they're going to destroy that. We're not going to be able to get back there in time. Anyway, these are all going to be stopped now and moving back off, I think. Here they come. So this is the 37th Invasion Fleet. I can just let the 3rd Fleet do its thing here for a little bit. I am a little bit concerned about the humans that are coming in as well. So a lot going on. We've got the it's going to be destroyed. Unfortunately, I should have just destroyed it. Attack vector. Yep, that's okay. We've got the this research center. It's still fine. Oh no, it's not. Here they all come. So these beasts are attacking this one, but this is too far away for us to worry about. The escort, Atakama 2, that's okay. We'll have a look at that one again. Draconia 1 mining station is under attack. So there's little ships here which are trying to stop us. Now that's actually a colonizing ship. It was trying to colonize this world. This is the world with the Zentabia fluid. Okay, well in that case, so we do actually have, this one has just been finished, and it is now picking up the Zentabia fluid. And so they're now trying to escape here. They've actually they've done a lot of their own mining station. This is actually a large mining ship. So they're going back with the Zentabia fluid, and I'm not going to be able to get back in time. Nithos. I've got a small fleet just sitting around here. I think what I might do is I might grab that 7th fleet and move it down to Draconia. It's a hard one, because if they target the other one, it's going to be a problem. So I'm just going to set that as a home base and just keep them to defend. So that'll be okay. We'll just go that way. So they can no longer colonize that if we've got a mining station there, I don't think. I think that sort of stops them from doing that. That's close. That was very, very close. They ended up trying to get like an outpost there. This one's not going to be able to be saved. But this becomes a very, very important location. It's interesting that they're actually trying to target that a little bit. So look and see what's going on here. Now these humans are moving off. Oh, they're still going to invade. 3rd Fleet. Yeah, they're moving off. Alright, so we now actually have the 3rd Fleet is in the middle now of this fight. And really we just want to find, there's an admiral or a general. Right there. Okay, so 3rd Fleet, destroy this one for me, please. Hang on, where is it? Attack the insidious crucible. Let's go back to half speed again. So that's the lead ship from the actual invasion itself. Okay, that's good. And there will be a general floating around in space there somewhere. Look at this guy. The orangutan's library has come down a little bit. with it's being attacked by everything. Just make sure that it's actually set. Weaker targets. It's got to be cautious for everything. All right, so the bigger targets now are no longer these troop transports. I mean, they've got some that would be nice to get rid of, but it's the ones that are going to hurt me are going to be these guys here. So I'll just get the third. What are you attacking? Just keep on doing damage in here. It should be running away now. There's the escape pod. Meander 3. Now this has nothing to do with us. This is actually a Yanomano Dominion Hive has lost something to another group somewhere in the galaxy. So WAD Ubuntu has been detected after failing to steal territory map of the Famulus Polymathia, and mission completed. So Agent Quark has evaded detection after securing their mission to steal research information on intensified shield strength. Good. New destroyer completed, so it's now going to go back to the 5th, and incoming fleet detected. Alright, so the strike force is going to where we've already got like a force sitting there. We have to be careful of the orangutan's library because it is targeted, like it's very heavily targeted when there's fleets coming in. So does Mr. Quark happen to have a codename, 007? He's done it very, very well, like incredibly well. I don't know if we end up getting there's certain information that you do get from what somebody has actually done, but I don't know where we see that. Here we go. This is his history. This is the history of the spy Quark. It was a named character. So Quark has, you can sort of see if we go back through time, this is actually where he started. So he started off in 2756, changed to Matrani 3, which is the homeworld. Character appears there. So a few years later, he prevented an intelligence mission. So he's done a few sort of prevention type things, and he's picked up his skill set. So his skill set is getting up there, like high concealment, high espionage, counter-espionage, for example, things like this. So he's picking up his counter-espionage abilities in through there. New trait is suspicious, so he ends up getting suspicious, which gives him extra counter-espionage and concealment. So he ends up picking up that trait. This is in 2773. So this is a fair way in the past. Intelligence mission prevented again, so he's actually stopped another intelligence mission. New skill, concealment, which... Yep, so he picked up concealment here, and he keeps on getting more and more of this. So, and he gets progress to this one because he keeps on going off and doing... he's got like very high probability to steal research. So that's what he's just doing automatically. So intelligence mission success back and through there. That would have been to get maps. Mission failure. So he did actually lose a fail there in 2778. New skill was espionage, and he got mission success. It's not going to tell us exactly what he did do. I don't think anyway, as it sort of just goes back through. But you'll see there's a lot of success. Now, at one point he got captured, I thought. He's got a rich history. Yes, see if we can figure out where he actually, if he did get captured. Well, maybe he didn't. No, he hasn't been. Okay, so now he's just thumping along. Doing very, very well, which is good. So he'll just keep on going off and doing those sorts of missions. A lot of these guys don't have anywhere near the skill set. So these are just sort of sitting around. They're trying to get the skill set up, but nothing like Quark. So Quark is our best. This guy's useless. So he is terrible, but he's just on counterintelligence because that's all he can really do. So we just put him manually on that particular role. So he tries to capture the spies that are operating against us. All right, let's go back into the third again. Orangutan's library is going to pick up the full brunt. There we go. That one's now down. All right, so we're still okay. We're still above 50% shielding. How many others that have got? Yeah, that one there has got a few other troops. Trying to jump. I've set this thing to evade, so it's going to now sort of move away from the enemy ships, or whatever its target actually is. Reactor is offline now for this one. That's a defense force there. You've got a lot of ships now coming after Orangutan's library. I'm going to manually move Orangutan's library back down to the bottom here, just because whatever my target is, it's trying to evade it and trying to keep its distance. It's got no interceptors or bombers, so it's a little bit sort of weak at this stage. We need to keep this thing safe. So Sever's saying the massive concealment stat must be the driving force, that character not getting caught. Yeah, well, he's been developed over time. Slowly being developed. Actually, if I go and get the third again... No, I'll just move it. I'll keep it moving manually away. Let's see, there we're being hit again with everything around us. Go after these ships now. Try to keep them all protecting the Orangutan's library. We've lost a escort, so we'll go and grab another escort. Third. Here we go. Enemy fleet. This is the one that we just left alone. What are they doing there? The third invasion fleet going towards... has been detected travelling. Alright, so let's just go and do the show me. Now, they've already come and gone. So we now actually have this massive attack. The first is still just moving in to do its own thing. So it's just moving in to catch up with the others. Did we lose that one? Yeah, we lost this one here. Let's go and build a... it's already... Okay, we've got automatically got a mining station being built at these different locations, which is fine. Okay, so the first will now come back in and help the third. So the third is now going to be having like a lot of different attacks coming in against it. But we're doing fairly well. We're up to 180 strength now, which is good. So we're sort of thumping along, which is really quite nice. Yeah, Nithos 1. We need to find where the 33rd is and what that actually is. It's the 30th. The 27th. 33rd. Oh, it's tiny. Okay, we won't worry about that. So we'll just stay where we are and just keep on protecting this mining station. Got to stop them from these colonizing ships. What I'll do is I might just automatically go and just get the 7th to try to destroy this. I almost need to get another smallish fleet. 57,000 at the moment. Structured research, I don't have anywhere near enough, I don't think, to be able to crash research this. What do I need? I need 128,000 for that just at this stage. So that's not going to be able to happen. If I go back into my fleets, my attack, no, let's go to the fleet templates. I don't have enough for the defense fleets. I do have enough just for a raiding fleet. It's only got 8 ships in it. I think I might build one of these raiding forces, and I'll build this one at Narg. So we'll just go and build a smallish. This has only got 8 ships in it, so we'll just go and build this fleet at the not at Nithos 1. So we'll go and build that one there. This is going to be our eighth fleet. So I'm just going to go Control 8. That means that it's now the hotkey 8 has now been set for this particular little group. And so that will then be built there. Its home base will be there. If I go back to the 8th, it's set to raid, but I'm going to set this one to defend. And it's defending this big whole region, but I'm just wanting to essentially just be the same system. So I'll just go and have it just look after the Narg system with what we have. And so that's going to, again, just drain away our money a little bit. But at this stage, we just need to sort of keep on weathering this storm until the others sue for peace. The 3rd is still making its way through. The teams is now escaping. There's nothing on board that one. Second invasion force, that's okay. We had those as well, that's fine. Here comes the first. So they're moving in just automatically to take on this one. So the first is set just to raid, and they're just basically attacking what they can find. So just essentially looking for targets. I should have pointed out why I made this one. I changed the orders on this ship, and you can see it's paying dividends already. We're starting to now get the shielding is coming back up. And so what I did was I set the tactics. The attack stance against weaker targets was set to cautious. This ship alone has got a strength of 4,000, so there's not going to be very many there's not going to be many targets in the game, like enemy ships, that are going to be stronger than it. So against stronger targets, it's cautious anyway, but weaker targets, it was set there to be aggressive. And so when we hover over that, you'll sort of see that it goes from down the bottom there, aggressive. The ship will select an attack range that inflicts maximum damage on the enemy with little consideration for enemy damage against itself, which means it'll close the gap and actually go to point blank range, which is not what we want for this big ship. So, and then if we go to neutral, the ship will select an attack range that inflicts maximum damage on the enemy while avoiding excessive damage to itself from the enemy. So it'll move away to sort of optimum weapon range. Most of what we want to have in this for our ships is to be aggressive, but not in this ship's case. Cautious, the ship will select a attack range that inflicts some damage on the enemy while minimizing damage to itself from the enemy. I could actually go and set that one to neutral. And then evade will attempt to remain out of weapons range of the enemy ships. So, or the enemy target. It's whatever the actual target is. So let's just say, for example, we've got a target here. It will move off in that direction. If I make that the target, it'll move off in this direction because it'll be trying to move away, to optimum weapon range. Anyway, let's keep on going. The first is going to come through and destroy the rest of these. Just do that automatically. Enemy fleet. So they're coming in against a sail, but we do actually have fleets in here. Now this is the 6th fleet, which is a fair way away from a sail now. So they've been sort of tracking things. I'm going to put that one back to defend, and its home base is the sail spaceport. So we'll just keep on sort of defending a sail. It'll go back there ultimately. I might just tell it to go back there anyway. So if I go and grab the 6th Fleet and just do a right click and just go to refuel, it will still keep its automation status there. Alright, that'll do us. That's working out okay. Certainly giving them a blood nose here. Invasion force going into this is from the Kamarachis again. I'm not going to worry about it because we've got the 6th Fleet there. First is just doing its thing. So it's attacking the 10th Defence Force, which is this group in through this other side. So it's just destroying each of their ships, and then the first will then just keep on going off with its raiding targets. There we go. It's now done. Just see what it does. So by being on a raid aspect, it's going to then, I don't know if it'll show us with the tooltips. No, it won't show us. In this case, by setting that to raiding, it's just going to do a good job there. That one's been disabled. That's disabled as well. 3rd Fleet. Waiting for tankers now. That went back to a defensive role. So the escort has been completed and we'll now move across back to the 3rd. There's our 1st Fleet again. They're going off to refuel. So they're just automatically now just doing their thing. I'm not really controlling them anymore. Got small craft coming in to attack this. Doing well here with our war score. Waiting for fuel tankers now just to sort of finish off the refueling. New frigate completed. There we go. This is now the 8th Fleet, which is now sort of starting to... that's okay. We'll just dismiss that one. Incoming fleet detected. We've already got fleets there, so that's fine. Okay, we've weathered the storm back at the home systems. Still got more coming back in, invasion fleets, but they've run out of fuel completely. Oh, hang on. One thing we did forget about was we had an enemy general floating around in space here somewhere in the attacks. Where was that? Was that out here? Is that where we were? Yeah, there it is. That there is an escape pod with the enemy general on board. Alright, so let's go and... now this one's trying to pick up engine superstructure, pick up volatile storage. This one's escorting the orangutan's library. Let's use the orangutan's library to pick this one up. Pick up the escape pod. Might as well put it on board with Admiral von Schweinhund. They can discuss the way the war is proceeding. So this is like a little other ship that's come in from the Ikaru commune to also then just come in and pick up the loot. We're not at war with them, so that's all fine. And again, we're not really at war with these guys either. So they've also got like passenger ships that are picking up stuff. Here we go. So we're now picking up the cargo pod, the escape pod. Research breakthrough. So while salvaging hull plating in the Takama system, we've just made a discovery, given us the research breakthrough in iron point defense. New mining station completed, and yeah, we're just finding detailed maps as well, just from this loot. So still going to sending away teams out. There we go. Enemy general captured. So we now actually have General Siga Yukan has now been placed on board the orangutans library. So he's now in there, sort of in the prison hold of the ship. We'll just go back to the third fleet again. They're already set to defend, which is fine. Okay, now shields research, not weapon research. Let's see where that actually is. They've already got a research station there. Too far away from us anyway. Alright, so that's good. Now, Narg. Have they settled here? They have actually, that's interesting. So they've actually they've settled onto with some Boscarans from their, like this is still the Famulus Polymathia, but they've got some Boscarans from within their territory to settle on that particular world, which is sort of going to push our border back a little bit. Doesn't matter so much. The mining station completed. And the first should, once they refuel, yes, still refueling at Takama 2. Now they want to end the war. We've only got war score, war weariness there of -4. I'm going to think, if I keep the war going, is there anything that we really, really want from them? And the answer is probably no. I'm not sure actually whether we do this or not. Accepting the treaty there. We've got a good war score and they want a white peace. I don't think I'm ready yet actually. I'm going to decline this. Because we've been able to destroy a lot of their ships. They're no longer a massive threat. They were at the start of the war, but they're not now. And if we let them off now, it's going to then mean that we're going to have to fight. Look at all these fleets. Like this is what we have to fight ultimately. Anyway, so if they get their act together, they're still going to be very, very difficult to take on. One thing I was hoping to do was to get technology so we can actually compete with them. But we've still got a few of their areas in through here that I want to be just. Oh, there's a fuel barge. There's nothing much. Yeah, these are just enemy ships. Look at the first. Still just going off to refuel. So look at the targets that we actually have. Fifth Strike Forces are attacking that one. Picking up a bit of money. 38th Fleet. Takama 2. I'm sort of okay with all of that. Yep, that's okay. We saw that one before. So these are now going off to take out the enemies, I think. Yeah, so they're just moving in. Frigate completed. Location maps. So it's going to escape. We travel very slowly in Impulse, except for these ancient ships. Just go up to normal speed. So the first is just going off to attack different things. Well, let's have a look and see if there's anything else. Yeah, we don't have anything within range of anything else there, really. The first is set. It's a fairly big range that it does have that it can operate in. I'll just let it do its own thing for a little while. Now the fifth. Attack the 28th Strike Force. The 21st is there. It's also now been set to raiding. Really need to get back to this. I'll just tell it to go and attack this one, and then we'll set it back to defend. That's right, just discovering new things. Draconeer 1. Seventh should be able to help with this. Unfortunately, this thing's going to keep on being a pain in the bum. Just keep on swarming. It's a fuel barge. It's escaped. Group of ships out here. I don't know what they're doing. Oh, waiting for fuel barges. Alright, we've cleaned out the Takuma system. So it's just going to keep on going off and attacking different ships as they come in. Fleet, they're going to Takuma as well. So we're just chasing these down. New escorts completed. More incoming fleets. Going into a sail. A sail is not really a problem. Now that one there, where's this? It's a monitoring station. Now this is actually inside their territory. I knew that wasn't going to last. Nothing I can do about that really. We're just going to really just look after our own stuff. 35th Invasion Fleet, is that it? That's the second. 22nd. There'll be a 35th in here somewhere. That's okay, we've got the 5th waiting back there for them. That's okay, we'll leave that where that is as well. So this monitoring station here is going to be attacked and destroyed. Going to have to escape. I'll just get rid of the targets so we don't see them. Everyone's just going around now and cleaning up after the big attacks that went on through there. This is interesting. So we had a attack come in from this group. We're not attacking them, which sort of, you know, we're just waiting for them to attack us first. This is a sail, right, that's fine. Their ships are about the same strength as mine. Fourth Invasion Fleet. So this is actually we're not at war with this group, but they're still attacking anyway. They will sue for peace again soon enough. Actually, we've lost a bit now. We're over 200,000. War mission completed. So we needed to defend an important research refueling station. It just wasn't attacked. That's why we've managed to keep hold of it. Territory map, what did Clark do? Still research and welcoming new friends. Okay, that's fine. Accept trade. No, we'll decline that. And we'll dismiss that as well. Peter's saying, Daz, big fan of your videos. Helped me get into numerous games like Shadow Empires. I never see you mention EU4 or 5 though. These games that just bounced off and didn't enjoy. I actually really enjoyed them. I've got to say, I actually played the very, very first Europa Universalis. 1 and 2 were my favourites back when they first came out, because you could start at any date in history. So I really loved them. And then by the time EU came along, I've got EU5. I just haven't covered it, and I think it's because it gets so much coverage, and so I sort of stopped at 3. I did cover 3 a little bit back in the day, and then but then there was just so many people covering it that I just thought, look, it's a bit of a there's a bit too many people actually doing it. But I did really, really enjoy it a lot. The one thing I don't like all that much in all of those sorts of EU type games is the combat. Like, I never really liked the combat side of things, but I mean, it's more about politics anyway. But so, yeah, there's no really good reason other than the fact that I know that it's fully covered by other people. So there's no real opportunity, because I'm only sort of like small to medium sort of size channel really. So in that sense, it's there's big channels that cover it very, very thoroughly. So Jamison saying, you look handsome today. Thank you. I've got to have a shave. I haven't shaved for a week or so. So we are smashing this, even though we're not at war. Just let them continue on doing what they're doing. I don't need to worry about that. That's back at the Matrani system, back in the home system. Still a lot of fleets floating around out here. Yeah, they're all coming in to try to take on Takama, but it won't hold. So here comes more invasion fleets coming in to try to take this one on. Here we go. A few different things. Actually, I thought that was going to be for us. This is their small raid force against our small force in through here as well. So nothing much for us to do there. New mining station completed. So this is the Boscara assimilation, and the CO administrative clans have made peace, which is not ideal for us. I sort of wanted them to stay at war. Incoming fleet detected, the 3rd invasion fleet going towards a sail. Again, I'm not really too concerned about that. A sail and a sail. So these are all heading off. I think that's the fleets that we saw moving through this area. 3rd. Actually, they're taking on Missum. Just make sure that the 5th is in position. Missum 1. So 5th is set for defense, but it's all over the place. So I'm just going to move it to there. I will then just go and tell it that it's set to defend. I'll just at least position it where I want it. Okay, everything else is sort of working out okay. We'll just leave them where they are. It's saying in EU5 can only start in the 1330s now, so only students may have the time to arrive at early modern history. But in the meantime, a fantasy world will have developed DLC needed. Yeah, I'm not sure. I haven't really played much EU5. I sort of meant to, but I just didn't. There's just too many other games out at that stage. Of all the Paradox games, really, the one I really thoroughly cover is Age of Wonders. I love that game. That is my favourite game of all time. Okay, so we've just still got action going on in here, but it's not really going to worry us too much. Moving off. And move out again. Here comes the first. The Began, the mighty Began, dropping all of its small craft. Smashing its way in. This one's a tail sly fox. Two big cruisers, ancient cruisers that we found. So smashing them. I should read. I'm not even reading these. I should just be at least skimming them. Now they're offering to end the war immediately. We're at -5 now. God. I would like to take stuff from them. Let's have a look and see how they're going. Yeah, we're losing more war weariness than what they do. If we end this, then basically, yeah, what does it mean for us? I'm really in two minds as to whether to do this one. So everyone's trying to think, does anyone know the key combination to follow a single ship? Yeah, just click on it and just press L, is my understanding. If I go and press the L key, bang, there we are. I'm now following the tail sly fox. And so that's what you then do, and then just deselect and then just move off, and then you'll stop. So yeah, you can just do L is, I think, the lock command. So yeah, I think I'm just trying to think of what I should do here. They're not offering us anything, but it would sort of allow us to get our wariness back up, like re-established. We'll be able to get our money back up and running again properly. We'll be better prepared next time they go to war, hopefully. We're still a little way off. Let's just see what it's going to cost me to do that one. Still 92,000 to crash research that. I'm tempted to do this, I think, just to give myself a bit of breathing space. And also, like, we're at the end of the session now, really, anyway. So I think I'm just going to go yes. I think I'll accept the treaty. I mean, if I kept on going, just because we're ahead in the war score, they'll eventually get too tired, but we're actually worse than they are. Our wariness is actually worse. So we'll accept this. There we are. The war is over. Which means that they can no longer settle into the Draconia system either. So, you know, there's no chance for them to take that anymore. All right, that's good. Just unpause the game for a little bit there. And we can just start to now get back on our feet again. Coming fleet detected. These will stop they're not going to go anywhere. Now that the war's over, there's really no reason for them to do anything. But we'll just double check. This is the last of the remnants. They haven't got their the instructions just yet. I'm just going to grab myself a drink of water. Be right back. Beacon saying peaceful dad, you know, he's not feeling well when he makes peace. There we go. Morgan saying, did I survive this last war without being captured or killed? Yes, you did. I'm pretty sure everyone did. So did you have a character or did you have a... We've got Von Sev. General Falcons is still waiting at Mitrani 3. Falcons should be actually on the 4th Fleet. Transfer you across now. Now we'll be at war again with these guys soon enough. These should just come straight in and then leave straight away. There they go. Off you go. They still think that they're invading, but they're not. Alright, that's all good. Everything we've got. But I think I'll call it quits here, guys. So look, thanks for watching. And I'll be back again tomorrow. We'll be playing some Dwarf Fortress. So at the moment, the Slytherin streams have just been delayed a little bit. So I normally stream tomorrow on the Slytherin channel, but there's no schedule at the moment. So I think that there's going to be at least another week before we start streaming back across there. Anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it there. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed that. That was a nice little war. So we had a fair bit sort of went on with a fair few different battles and things. But we're again, we're still back on top here in through this other side. Just going to keep on finding sort of loot from the various attacks. But we did well in that war. Like we sort of, you know, we did actually win that one. Just got to think about what we do next. Like whether we actually take on a homeworld or something. I do want to get my technology up and running. So I want to get, I do want to get the structured research finished. So I can start to get sort of more and more heavy weaponry. But anyway, I'll leave it there, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you tomorrow if you're around.